Okie dokie. So we have select all customers. Now let's see how we test select customer by ID. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to add a customer. So let's just copy this customer, and then in here we're going to paste this. So we need to add the customer. So let's just say under test dot and then insert and then the customer. Now at this point, we have no access to the customer ID because it's generated for us. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get the ID back somehow and then use it within our when block in here. Because if I say under test dot and then select customer by ID, which ID? Well, we don't have the ID because it's generated for us. So let's see how can we get the ID. So here, if I say under test dot, and we have select customer by ID, select all customers, delete, we could grab the customer by email. No, we don't have even a method to get the customer by email. So what we're going to do is the following. So because we have the email right here, let's extract this to a variable. So we're going to say email. Now we're going to select all customers. We're going to stream. We're going to perform a filter. So filter and C. So this will be C. I'm going to say C dot and then get email dot equals to the email that we added. So this email right here. Then we're going to say dot and then map because I'm just interested in the ID. So C, and this will be C dot get ID. And if you want, you can use method reference just like that. And we're going to say dot find first. So this will give us an optional. And if it's not present, then we should basically fail altogether. So let's just say or else throw. There we go. And you could add a message in here if you want, but for us it's fine. Here I'm going to say ID. So this is a way to get the ID. So this will be an integer. We could just put it like that. And now we could use the ID in here. So let's just say ID. And this gives us an optional, which is the actual customer in here. And in fact, if I scroll up, let's just say that this is also actual. So actual and then actual in here as well. So I prefer to use actual. So actual is just a variable name for the actual result that you get. Because when we perform the assertions, so assert that, the first thing that it takes is the actual. So then I know what I need to pass. So actual dot is present and dot has value satisfying, and this takes a consumer. So here let's just say C for customer, and now we can perform our assertion. And within this consumer here, let's just say assert that, and then the actual will be the unwrapped optional, which is this C. So C dot get an ID dot is equal to, and then the ID that we grabbed. Let's also check the name. So duplicate this, and at this point get and then name. Here I'm going to say customer dot get and then name. So this customer here is the initial customer that we added. So this guy right here. Now let's do the same for email. So here, let me just press Control and then D, get email, duplicate this. Oops, just once, not twice. And then here, this will be age. So age and age in here as well. Yeah, we only have these 4 fields to assert, and this is it. Now let's try and run the test. Select customer by ID, and you can see that this indeed does work. And to be honest, this is it for this test method. Next, let's test that if we give a wrong ID, then obviously the optional will be empty. Therefore, the customer is not found by the given ID.